This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. With me, sporting as usual, Shades, Gareth A. Davies. What's going on, Gareth?
Well, it's Monday. It's a slow Monday, and we're all looking forward to Fury and Wilder. We're looking forward to Lyndon Arthur fighting at the weekend. Anthony Yard still waiting for his opponent to be announced. So looking forward to trundling along to the Albert Hall later in the week. No doubt I'll see you there, doing your thing. But yeah, it's one of those Mondays that you need the boxing world to unite. But there's a couple of interesting stories around, I think.
Yeah, definitely. It's a bit quiet in the UK in regards to boxing at the moment. So let's talk about someone across the pond at the moment. Tyson Fury. He did an interview with TMZ where he was asked about the Francis Ngannou fight once again. And once again, he said that he really wants that fight after he's dealt with Wilder and Joshua. He said that's what he wants, Francis Ngannou. Are you a fan of that, Gareth?
I am actually, believe it or not. I kind of, yeah, I like it. 4-ounce gloves. Francis Ngannou, more of a striker than a ground guy. Big fighter, heavyweight champion in the UFC. If they could make that happen, I think it would do massive numbers. Who do I make the marginal favourite? 4-ounce gloves might be Ngannou.
Really? Yeah.
I mean, the guy flicks people out with his hands. He's so powerful. It would just be one of those amazing crossover events, I think, Umar, that would capture people's imagination. Do I really think it'll happen? Ooh, probably not, but certainly something that would get fight fans watching. There's no question about it, but there's a lot of water to pass under the bridge, first of all, with the Wilder fight and potentially the Anthony Joshua fight against Fury first. But you know what Fury's like. He's just kind of throwing it out there, isn't he, as a bit of a tease. Can I see him crossing over to do it? God, who knows? He might. You never know. And whether the UFC or an MMA organization would say, no kicking, no groundwork, just punching with 4-ounce gloves. I think maybe it's just Fury getting in the mood for Wilder,
Well, he has been vocal about Francis Ngannou before, and obviously a lot of the audience watching right now won't be too familiar with Ngannou. They might have never seen him fight, just like myself. So why do you think Tyson Fury, the heavyweight champion of the world, wants to cross over into that world, Gareth?
Well, it's a challenge, isn't it? And it's something different. And it's publicity ahead of the Wilder fight to say that. I mean, it kind of gathered a bit of momentum when he said it. So, as you said, I think he'd said it before, or been asked about it before, and kind of intimated that he wouldn't mind that fight. These crossover fights really work. Conor McGregor's fighting this week, and we know what happened with his fight with Floyd Mayweather. It transcended the fight world, and was a fairly entertaining event, and was a great thing to be at. So these kind of crossover events involving two professional fighters is always going to gain leverage.
But it's normally those guys coming into the boxing ring. Well, it always is. So do you think in terms of Tyson Fury's mind, is it purely a challenge thing going to the other side?
Yeah, totally. I mean, the odds are stacked against him in that fight in lots of ways, because imagine Deontay Wilder in 4-ounce gloves, I mean, he knocks people out for fun in his small boxing gloves, his light boxing gloves now. So, imagine Tyson just taking on the challenge. I think it would garner a lot of views, and also, obviously, it wouldn't be for the UFC heavyweight title. And I think the heavyweight scene in MMA isn't what it once was with, Mirko Cro Cop and, the Nogueira and Fedor and all these guys when they were in Pride, when the heavyweight division was an extraordinary time, when these guys there were 7 or 8 guys who were amazing and commanding huge crowds in Japan, 60, 70, 80,000 watching these guys, when it was a phenomenon at the time, before, the UFC really became a massive force.
as you said, Conor McGregor's done it before, and obviously that was a massive success as an event in terms of the financial gain for both parties. Can you see that happening again, McGregor coming back into the boxing ring?
No, I can't. Obviously, it was that fight with Manny Pacquiao was talked about with Conor McGregor, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think McGregor's had his foray into boxing. I think that's it. He's got to win this weekend. I mean, every time there's a McGregor event, I think he had 3 fights in 2016, one in 2018, 219, 220, and now 2021. And he's very active now, and he's got this 3rd fight with Dustin Poirier. He's got to win it. He's a massive cash cow for the UFC. Forbes' richest athlete in 2020 rather. I think it was 180 million US dollars he made, according to the Forbes list. So he's still a massive draw. It really is the Conor McGregor show this week in Las Vegas. And if we'd had our permissions, we might have been there ahead of the Fury Wilder fight. You don't dip into that very often, do you? No. Strictly a boxing guy.
Yeah, we haven't covered UFC before. Gareth, let me ask you about a couple of more things, please. What do you think's been the hold-up with Joshua Usyk being formally announced?
It's very strange, isn't it, that it hasn't been formally announced. I wondered whether they're looking at numbers in Tottenham Hotspur's ground and whether they're just waiting for the sign-off on that.
We've heard that Boris is saying that we can have full capacity from July 19th. So
yeah. So it is very odd. I mean, we keep hearing going to be is held off. I don't have any other intel on it at the moment. I'm expecting it imminently. I have been for the last, like you say, maybe 6, 7, 8, 9 days. We've been expecting the official announcement. I thought it was going to be last Friday, actually. There were soundings that it could be then. It's very odd it's gone quiet, but it looks like it's still on, Who knows? Could be Dillian White. You never know.
Really?
Well, no, I don't think it will be Dillian White. Dillian White's going to America to fight, isn't he? That's what looks like the case. I enjoyed the repartee in the last couple of days between him and Charles Martin. Like that fight, actually.
Yeah. I don't think that's a bad fight at all.
No, it isn't.
Okay, Canelo Alvarez and obviously Caleb Plant were expected to sign off on an undisputed fight. Don't know if talks have been going on, but that speculation's been going on for a while, so I'm not too confident that fight happens. If the fight with Plant doesn't happen, what would you like to see Canelo do, Gareth?
I'd like the Golovkin fight. I'd really like to see the 3rd Golovkin fight. Don't want that to fall by the wayside. Golovkin's not getting any younger, is he? And which is a kind of cliche in a way, but I think I'd like to see them fight a 3rd time. That's the fight I'd be pushing for Canelo, will be the Golovkin fight. But obviously I think at the moment they want to take Canelo to Mexico, don't they? He's a massive star there, and they could fill the biggest stadiums there. It's Golovkin for me.
Okay. What about the fight with Artur Beterbiev, rather, at light heavyweight? He said he's fully open to that fight, Canelo. How do you see him getting on with that fight there?
It's a very tough fight. We know how dangerous Beterbiev is, or Beterbiev as I call him, is for anyone. It's a massive challenge for Canelo, and maybe those are the kind of challenges he needed. I didn't know that he was really that prepared to go back up to light heavyweight, and the fact he's saying he would is great for the sport. That he will take on all comers. He's not a big man, and Beterbiev is a much bigger man than him, and probably punches a lot harder. So he's going to be hit a lot harder if they do fight than he's ever been hit before. I may be wrong on this, but I don't think they'll sign that fight.
Okay. Well, listen, Gareth, just a quick catch-up tonight. I'm sure we'll speak on Saturday night at Royal Albert Hall, where Lyndon Arthur and Anthony are back in action, which would be good to see. Is there anything you'd like to add before we go?
No, that's it. All done. One and done.
That's a wrap. All right, Gareth, I'll speak to you soon, all right? Take care. Bye.
Great to see you.